Hello everybody, so I'm going to show you how to care for all types of doll hair. So I have all of my types here. So I have straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair, ignore hers because we will be fixing it in this video, and then very curly hair. So let me just address some questions that people have just normally. When I pin curl doll hair, if you guys have watched those videos before, I've gotten the question many times of why do you curl your doll's hair that's already curly? Well, pin curling it makes it curlier than it already was, so I just took Caroline's hair out of the pin curls, and excuse its disaster lookingness, like it's very flyaway-ish, but like I said, we're going to be fixing it in this video. But it was a lot flatter before, so it just makes the curl curlier. You don't have to pin curl it, obviously. It's just because the curl goes flat over time. It's not as bouncy, and the pin curling gives it more of a bounce. Pin curling method, once we get there, I'm just going to tell you right now, it does not work on straight hair. I've tried it. It doesn't work unless you do boil curling, which I totally do not recommend at all. So those are those questions, and we are just going to get started on each doll's hair type and how to care for each one. Alright, so first off, I'm going to show you how I care for my straight doll's hair. I have quite a bit of dolls with straight hair. I have Julie, Isabel, Grace, Mia, my Nikki, which I straightened her hair, 25, Paige, who has 59's wig. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I do with her hair. Alright, so here is McKenna. So this is what I do with straight hair. Ignore her winter outfit, I know it's May. I just haven't changed her. So you're going to need your doll brush. I just have the wire wig one for American Girl. You don't have to use the one from American Girl, but you need the one with wire bristles. My voice is already going, what? Even. So this is what it looks like. Sorry for the hair in it, I know that's kind of gross. Alright, so I know her hair isn't tangly, but you should normally start brushing their hair at the bottom. McKenna's probably not a good choice because she's wearing a sweater that can snag. Oops. For right now, and I'm going to dig out Grace so I can show you because she isn't wearing anything that can snag. This goes for all dolls that have, straight or straight-ish hair. I know Grace's isn't 100% straight, but it's pretty darn close. So what you should do, her hair looks like it is a mess. Dolls with straight hair, is you're going to start at the bottom, which I know everyone tells you to do this, but it's true, to keep your doll's hair soft and shiny for longer. And you're just going to work your way up to the top of her head. If your Grace has her braid in still, please be careful of her braid. I know I was very careful with it when I did have it in, but there is how you brush, or how I brush straight doll's hair. Let me show you what happens if you pull through your doll's hair, like when she has snarls. If you start up here and work your way down and you pull through any snarls that are there, it won't be as soft or anything like that in the future. So I'm going to show you my new doll that I got. I'm going to show you her hair. So if you can tell, it looks a little bit frizzy right here. I don't even know if you can see this. These pieces of hair that are wavy looking. So I don't even know if you guys will be able to see this on the camera, but see this curly piece of hair on the brush? That is the result of pulling through snarls in your doll's hair. So again, I would recommend starting from the bottom and working your way up. I just brushed her hair, so that's why I started at the top. And that's what I usually do when I know their hair is not snarly. But if you do come across a snarl, what I want you to do, I'm going to show you this at this angle so you can see, is if you start up here accidentally and you come to a snarl, I want you to roll the brush out of her hair and then start at the bottom and work your way up just to work that snarl out. So yeah, if your doll's hair looks like Miss Cassie's hair, that is probably why she has those, because you've been pulling through snarls in her hair, so that's what causes that. Also, for hairstyles for straight hair dolls, I would not leave them in for, I would not leave them in for any longer than a day, because braids can cause crimps in their hair and so on and so forth. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Just leave your doll's hair straight whenever you don't have, time to, do their hair, or if you think you don't have time to take their hair out in the future, I would just take it out as soon as you think about it. So that is straight-haired dolls and how I care for their hair. Alright, here is Miss Colette. She is my G55. Mine is my American Girl version, so I can call her that. Alright, so what I do with her hair, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see this. So what I do with her hair is I just section most of it off piece by piece. So since her hair is already sectioned, it's a little bit messy. So I take a section of hair, and you can just use your thumbnail and take out any, or like make a section of hair. She doesn't have a section already. And you can tell I started up here only because I know her hair is not snarly. But I did come across a snarl and I kind of just rolled out and then worked at it. And then I just finger curl her hair into this beautiful curl. So I'm going to do another one just to show you. Okay, so I'll fix this up. Brush it. Brush it out. Oopsies, I don't want hair from that section, thank you. And then finger curl it whichever way your doll's hair is supposed to be curled, and then you get something like this. If you curl it the wrong way, you will be able to tell, because it does look different, although I think her hair can curl either way. I'm just more used to curling it to the right, I think. So I curl it this way, and there you go. There is your Wavy doll's hair. If your Wavy doll's hair doesn't look as curly as this, I would recommend pin curling it once, maybe like overnight max, and then when you take the pin curls down, which I will show you how to do in a little bit, what you're going to do is just brush them out after you take it out of the pin curl, and then you're just going to finger curl it like that, and it should be curly, maybe just as curly as this or a little bit curlier. If you want it less curly, I would suggest using a spray bottle. So this one is from Target. It was in like the travel size area. I don't remember how much it was. It was like 97 cents or something like that, so pretty cheap. It holds quite a bit of water, 12 fluid ounces, so that's quite a bit. And then once you spray her hair, you can brush it out and then finger curl it after that. And you'll end up with something like her hair. My wavy hair dolls, I think I have a list somewhere that I can list off. My dolls that I consider wavy hair would be Mary Ellen, Leah, 61, 55. I think those are the only ones that are wavy, that I would consider wavy. Oh, and Elizabeth. So that is how I take care of dolls with wavy hair. And now we're going to move on to dolls with curly hair. Alright, so here is my curly hair dolls. Not all of them. My curly hair dolls that I have consist of 33, which is right here, Kanani, Caroline, which is right here, Sage, Rebecca, and then my custom doll Sylvie. Did I say Sage? I don't remember if I said Sage. Lainey's kind of in the curly haired group as well, and Alina, and that's it that I have in my collection. So any doll that you think's hair should be curly is curly, and you're going to use this method that I'm about to show you to kind of make their hair more curly. This is where the question of why do you curl a doll's hair that's already curly comes in. So I'm going to show you how I do their hair. So I already pin curled Caroline's hair, so I'm going to show you how I pin curl hair, since Allie's hair needs it pretty bad right now. Her hair is not as curly as I would like, so I'm going to show you how I pin curl her hair a couple different ways, because I know people had issues with it before. I'm just going to get something quick. So what you're going to do is you're going to need, to pin curl your doll's hair, you are going to need something that is round. I have this mascara tube that is very old and don't use anymore, so figured might as well use it for this. I did use a tube of lip gloss before. I think one of those Sharpies with like the tapered end so the end gets smaller would work really good as well. But I have this, so you need that, and then you also need your doll hairbrush to brush out the curls. And then you need a spray bottle. I showed you this before. Got it from Target. It obviously has to have water in it. And then you're going to need bobby pins. So here's mine. It's just a thing that goes in the salon caddy for American Girl. I would be very careful with these bobby pins because they are metal. And if you use them with water, they do tend to rust on your doll's hair. I did have that happen with her and Caroline. So if it does get rust on your doll's hair, all you need to do is just spray it with some water and then take either a Kleenex or paper towel and just kind of like, you know, wipe it off of her hair as much as you can. It's not going to completely come off, but just thought I would warn you about that, just because I've had it happen a few times now. If it rusts on your doll's hair really, really bad, please take that bobby pin and throw it away. Alright, so the first way I'm going to show you, because there is different ways you can roll up their hair. I don't have a doll cape. I kind of really need one, but I'm just going to use my sweater that's here on the floor as a cape. You don't have to use a cape, but it just prevents their clothes from getting wet and or their skin or vinyl skin. So you're going to take, if your doll's hair is already, you know, sectioned off into curls, then you can just grab one curl at a time, but if it's not sectioned off, then you take your thumbnail and just, you know, make sections. Or you can just make, you know, however many big curls. We'll spray her hair, not so that it's sopping wet, but just so that it's damp. Your doll's hair should only be sopping wet if you're straightening her hair. And then, let me move the camera over a little bit. What I do is I put the curler, is what I'm just going to call it, underneath the hair, and then I wrap the hair over it. And then we're just going to roll the hair up, just like that. And then you're going to secure it with bobby pins. Pin it on the top if you did it the way that I just did it. And the other way, because people have done this before and they're like, I bobby pin it, but it doesn't stay up. What am I doing wrong? Let me show you what you might be doing. You are curling or rolling the hair up the opposite way that I am. So again, get the hair spray it a little bit. And then I don't roll the hair up this way, so excuse my slowness on this. I'm not used to doing it this way. You put the roller or curler on top of the hair, and then you roll the hair around it. See, I'm so not used to doing it this way. That's why I'm like slow as a turtle or slow as a snail. And then you roll it up this way to the top of her head. This makes the curl the other way actually, which is why I don't do it. And then instead of pinning it on the top, you're going to pin it on the bottom, because that is the only way that the hair is actually going to stay up at the top of her head. I'll show you what it does if you just pin it on the top. So if you pin it on the top and you just roll it up the way I just did, you pin it on the top. I think you'd notice the first time you pinned it, but if you pin it twice, it's just going to unroll partially. That's because this part on the bottom of the curl was not pinned in with it. So if you pin it on the bottom, it should stay up here. But I don't pin it. I don't do it that way. I do it the other way because it's a lot easier for me. So I'll show you my way again. Put the curler underneath the hair and wrap the hair up and over your curler. And make sure you're holding the ends down as you're rolling it up so that the ends stay down and it goes underneath the hair that you just rolled over it. So that way the ends stay somewhat neat. And this way does not work on dolls with straight hair. It should work, however, with any doll that has wavy or curly-ish hair, depending on what American Girl calls it. I think they called 55's hair straight, and it's not straight. Leah's hair, I think, was also called straight. And then once you do her entire head, what you're going to do is just leave it in, not for too long, just in case your bobby pins are a little bit older. I know mine are not even really that old. I might have gotten them like a couple years ago, but if you overuse them with water, just be sure not to leave them in your doll's hair for a super long time. So I would leave the pin curls in probably like 2 days. Anything longer than that, your bobby pins are probably going to rust, which is not good at all. And then when her hair is, after, I usually leave them in overnight, but if I do forget about them, I try to take them out as soon as I remember that they are in her hair. When you do take them out, I'll just take this one out for example. You're just gonna take your finger and just kind of finger curl it so that it looks something like this, although it would be dry if you did it. This is how I also do my Caroline's hair, which I'll show you in a second. So I wrap my finger around once, grab the hair, and then just finish finger curling it all the way down to the bottom. And since it's wet, I just loosened it like a ton. And then when you're done pin curling all of her hair and such, you should get something that kind of looks like her hair is right now, except the curls would be a little bit bouncier and more curly, if that makes sense. So that was how to care for dolls with curly hair, and I'm going to show you how I do Caroline's. Alright, so I have Miss Caroline here. Her hair just got pin curled, and as you can see, I have not totally fixed it up yet, which is the whole point of this section of the video. So what you're going to do, this is how I tame most of her flyaways. It's not possible to tame all of them, unfortunately. This is the only way that I have figured out how to tame most of her flyaways. So I know her hair is not snarly, except for the ends, which I always wrap the hair around my hand and then brush it. You don't have to brush her hair, it just kind of makes it so that it's not snarly. Again, I wrap around my finger once, grab it, and then just keep finger curling to the end. And if it still has flyaways, you're just going to curl the bottom part as many times as you need until it looks decent to you. This one does not like me. Hold on, let me brush this out one more time. There we go. It's not that good, but it'll do for now, I guess. Or you can just curl the first part of it and then just grab your brush and kind of brush the bottom out and then continue. That might work for you as well. There is the finished curl, if you can see it. I'm going to show you again. We'll do, where's this one? Oh, here it is. This one already looks somewhat decent. It just needs to be brushed out and fixed. So again, I start up here because I know my doll's hair is not snarly. Otherwise, I would start at the bottom if it looks terribly snarly. And then you're going to wrap the hair around your finger once, grab it with the other two fingers, and then just finger curl the other part all the way to the bottom. This hair is not liking me today. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to brush her hair out a couple times. And I got something that looks like this. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time, except I'm going to move the camera up a little bit so you can maybe see what I'm doing. Okay, so this one, if you can see it, looks like this. So, I'm just going to brush it out. I get to the bottom and the snarls all accumulate down there pretty much. That's another part of starting up here, is the snarls kind of all accumulate at the bottom, and then you need to like work them all out. So I should start at the bottom, even if I know it's not snarly. So, again, what you're going to do is wrap it around your finger once, grab it with the other two fingers, and then just finger curl it all the way down to the bottom. If it doesn't look the way you want it the first time, try doing it again, or another time, and then seeing how it looks after that. So that's what I got out of that. If you try to curl her hair the wrong way, it will look, well, actually that looks kind of good, but that's not the way her hair is supposed to curl, so it looks a little bit bunched up down here. Be sure to just curl your doll's hair the way it's supposed to go. I think most of my doll's hair curls to the right, and then I think Natalie, which I'm going to get to, curls the opposite way, which is to the left, which is way annoying, but that's the way her hair works. Alright, I'm going to show you kind of before and after of her hair. So here's before, so it's all like flyaway-ish and stuff, and then here's after. It could be a little bit better, but it's not as flyaway-ish as the back. Before and after. So there's Caroline's hair and how I curl her hair, and now I'm going to move on and show you what I do with Natalie's hair, aka number 46. Alright, I'm just going to show you one thing that I forgot to mention with curly doll hair. So if you pin curl her hair and you see that you can see at the top like where her hair kind of was like sectioned off, I'm going to show you how to fix that, or how I fix it. Okay, so I take my little hair pick that came with the hair salon caddy. So I just have this little one, and you're just going to kind of brush where the lines are of where her hair is sectioned off, if that makes any sense. So it kind of gets rid of that sectioned off look, because it is kind of ugly. So you just do it to the entire top of her head. If you don't have a hair pick, you can also use a toothbrush, unused toothbrush. This is just a travel sized one that we had and never used. I think I got it from the orthodontist when I had braces. And what you're just going to do is get the bristles wet. Living That Agey Life taught me this. Try not to get any water on your doll, like I just did. And then you're just going to brush away the sectioned look of her hair, and this also helps with flyaways. And you might want to get your bristles wet more than once. And yeah, that's how you do that. So now we are going to move on how to care for 46's type of hair, which is very curly. Alright, so this is Maya G, or actually she's truly me, 46. They are discontinuing this doll, so if she's still in the store and you want her, please get her as soon as you can, because they have discontinued her, at least for now. I don't know if they're going to be like changing her, you know, in any way, shape, or form, but if you like the way she is, I would get her right now. So this is how I care for her hair. I'm actually going to turn her this way so I can show you this side of her hair. Alright, so I'm going to start off with this piece. What I have been doing since I got her, I don't tend to touch her hair a ton, but if it does get messed up, you know, from like changing her clothes or whatever, what you're going to do is just take your finger and just finger curl it. So just twist it and twist it and twist it all the way to the end, and then you can just let it go. It ends up like this. However, if you can kind of tell, the ends are a little bit frizzy, so I'm going to show you how possibly you can fix that. So I'm going to take a toothbrush, an unused toothbrush, and get it a little bit wet. Don't make it like sopping wet. And then I'm just gonna kind of get her ends a little bit wet, and then finger curl it. You could just even like dip her ends in water, that would be like the same thing. So now you can tell that her ends are not as frizzy as this one. I'll actually compare one of her pieces of hair. So here's the one I just did, and here's one that has not been done. You can compare the differences between the ends of her hair. And now I'm going to do this piece of hair. So what you can do first is I'm going to get this toothbrush a little bit wet. I'm going to put that on the ends of her hair. Like I said, you could just spray it or do what I just did. I don't wet any other parts of her hair for right now. You can, but that will, I think it loosens their hair, like the curl, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. Just curl it all the way to the end. And here is the end result of that. As you can tell from the ends before to now, it is a lot less frizzy. So that's how I care for her hair. I would not use a doll hairbrush on this type of hair. I think it just makes it frizzier. Just don't use a brush. I don't recommend it. I know other people have used brushes, but that's their personal preference, and if you want to follow them, then by all means go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but I am telling you, this brush is not recommended on this hair. To make her hair curlier, I have not figured that out yet, but I will kind of show you what I kind of maybe would do, is just kind of maybe wrap her hair around. This is a thin or like a fine Sharpie marker, so I'm just like wrapping her hair around it. I'm not even sure if this is going to help, but and then maybe bobby pin it. But you'd have to do that for each curl, and that'd be like so annoying. But I'll probably have to do that method eventually, and it might make it a little bit curlier. Again, pin curling is just to make the curl curlier, and you do not have to do it by all means. But that is how I care for her hair. I think I'm going to go around and do all of her ends now, since that's the first time I did that, and it actually worked really well. For her hair, since there is such small sections of hair that are curled, I'm so sorry about my voice, it's like totally going out the window. I would not recommend using the pick that I showed you for Caroline's hair and any other curly hair doll. So like 33, Kanani, Lainey, and basically any doll you pin curl their hair. I would not recommend doing this because I would just make the top part of her hair frizzy. I don't even know that I would even want to use this on her hair. I wouldn't even want to use any type of brush on her hair just because I'm terrified to and I don't want to. So that's how I care for her hair. For right now, I've just used alligator clips in her hair to like pin off some pieces of hair that might hang in her face. But other than that, I haven't really done anything else with it. You can do like, actually I don't even think I'd recommend that, but I've seen other people do it, but that's their personal preference. But I wouldn't do anything too crazy with her hair. But that is how I care for my 46's hair. This is the end to the how to care for all types of American Girl doll hair. So again, I have straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair, and very curly hair. I don't have textured, but I do have her with textured hair. So like Addie, I would just, if you don't like it poofy, then I guess you could straighten it. But other than that, I don't know how to care for dolls with textured hair other than her. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!